All too often do we hear stories in the news that make me wonder who is behind this agenda. Now, I recently read an article on The Signal about Brett Hankison. He's the former Louisville officer involved in the murder of Breonna Taylor. And it said that, and I quote, "Hankison was found guilty of violating Taylor's civil rights after firing 10 shots during the botched raid at her apartment, though none of his shots struck anyone." Now, that stood out because it leaves out critical facts. Hankison was firing blindly through a wall, recklessly endangering lives. And how telling is it that the details are not mentioned? Now, I searched this article on Ground News, which shows how stories are covered across the political spectrum. And there were 380 articles on this story. The Signal's version was rated as leans right with mixed factuality. And this matters because facts filtered through political bias change public perception. And that's why I use Ground News. Now let's talk about my friend Kenneth Walker, who was Breonna Taylor's partner, who was asleep next to Breonna Taylor when the police illegally broke in. Now, he's a legal gun owner and he believed intruders were entering in, and that's when he fired one shot in self-defense. He did nothing wrong but try to protect himself and his queen, yet he was arrested, he was vilified publicly, and he was nearly sent to prison. But the real danger was never Kenneth. It was the officers who raided the wrong apartment without announcing themselves. Yet Hankison, he walked free for years while Mr. Walker and Breonna Taylor's family mourned. Now, even at Hankison's sentencing, the injustice continued because Breonna Taylor's aunt, Bianca Austin, the co-founder of Families United, my friend, she was denied entry into the court and then arrested outside. And Kenneth Walker, he wasn't allowed in either. The family affected were silenced while officers responsible sat in a courtroom full of cops who watched Brett Hankison be convicted and ordered to serve 33 months in prison, followed by 3 years of supervised release for violating Breonna Taylor's civil rights. And this is why we can't just accept the headlines. We must check sources, we must question the narrative, and we must seek the full truth, because without that, justice is just a word. If you want to see the news from every angle like I do, go to groundnews.com/check for 40% off unlimited access. That's $5 a month for the same plan I use. It's groundnews.com/check, and it helps support everything we do here. Always film the police, always for the people.